What's up, fight fans? Brett Okamoto here, reporting from International Fight Week, Las Vegas, alongside the one and only Marc Raimondi. We got UFC 276. We got a lot of different International Fight Week activities going on. We got the Hall of Fame ceremony coming up tonight, which should be fun. Let's talk about the press conference that just happened at T-Mobile Arena. I would give it a pretty high grade. I would say that this was about a B+, A- press conference, which I got to be honest, I kind of wasn't expecting. Early on, I thought that, hey, Max Holloway is going to be the guy who wins this press conference. But I got to say, did Sean Strickland win this press conference?
I mean, I guess winning is kind of a nebulous term when it comes to a press conference. I mean, certainly he probably spoke the most often. He probably got the biggest reaction out of the crowd. He was like calling fans out like that guy in the red hat. You know, you guys are all horrible. I mean, he got a reaction. I mean, put it this way, I'm actually more excited in a Israel Adesanya versus Sean Strickland fight now. Even though that's not the fight happening this weekend, I am more excited for that now than I was before that press conference. I'm not sure that was the point of what this press conference was, because we're talking about UFC 276. But if Strickland does beat Pereira on Saturday, and Izzy beats Cannonier, that's the fight. So I'm kind of psyched about that now.
I got to tell you guys, this is an easy question for me to answer. Sean Strickland absolutely won that press conference. It is not even close. He's really the only one that really, I mean, coming off of this, more people know who Sean Strickland is. He'll be on the clips because he was funny. He did get under the skin, I thought, a little bit of Israel Adesanya. I thought his one-liners were actually pretty good. You know, sometimes if you're going to try and pick a fight with a champion that you're not even fighting, it can go sideways a little bit. I thought that they were pretty authentic, pretty genuine. That he was shooting from the hip. And amazingly enough, he didn't say anything that completely would get him in trouble. So I actually thought that I thought it was a 10 for 10 actually from Sean Strickland, which I don't know if I was anticipating coming into this.
Yeah, because you would think that if Strickland was going to talk as much as he did, that he might have gotten like pulled off the stage, and you know, we may not have seen him ever again. But he stayed up there and he did his thing.
Okay, we're obviously going to get to the actual fights, but the last thing I'll say about Strickland and Izzy. My interest is shot through the roof because I really would like to see how they interact. And I did think that for once, I wouldn't say Izzy was rattled. I mean, I'm not going to sit up here and say you know, but I thought that he was annoyed. I thought he was genuinely annoyed. And how many people have really been able to genuinely annoy Izzy? Like maybe Marvin, but almost kind of like he would laugh at Marvin kind of annoyed way. I thought he was actually like sort of almost angry annoyed.
And also, I would even take it one step further. Tremendous matchmaking. To not only put Strickland and Pereira together, the winner is going to fight Adesanya. There's a story there either way. It's on the same card as Adesanya and Cannonier. It doesn't get any better than that. I mean, this sets up the next fight, whatever it may be, no matter what happens.
Okay, well, let's also give Jared Cannonier his due. He was up there. He's going to have a chance to win the championship on Saturday. I thought he looked a little nervous, to be honest with you, but I don't care. I mean, that's not his. He's never really been in this situation. Izzy is a pro in this situation. So I thought that he did not look comfortable. You know, sometimes when we're watching body language and how guys react to certain things during fight week, I put something into it. I don't put anything into it with this one. What did you think of Jared Cannonier?
So I think what Jared Cannonier did wrong is he actually treated it like the press conference as if it were an actual press conference and not just a show for the fans. Because let's be honest, Brett, it's really just a show for the fans. This is not for us.
It's been that way for a while.
We have our day on Wednesday. It's the media day where we do most of our interviews. This is for the fans in attendance. And Jared Cannonier was actually trying to kind of give thoughtful, honest answers, not just trying to get a pop from the crowd. This whole thing on Thursdays, the press conference, is just to get a reaction from the crowd. That's all that's there for. And Cannonier was not trying for that. He was kind of doing something that was different than what everyone else was doing, and that kind of made it sound a little bit uneven. But I thought it was fine. He was trying to give real answers, but this is not the place for real answers on UFC fight weeks.
Let's go to the co-main event. As I mentioned, you know, early on it did look like Max Holloway was going to kind of be the guy who sort of tried to turn this press conference into something, because Max is always a great interview. I love talking to Max. He does not really give you answers in terms of that will turn into headlines. You know, like he is not going to be that guy who goes off and disrespects Alexander Volkanovski, but he did today. He was stoking the fire early on. What did you make of that?
I mean, I think they fought 3 times, and the first 2 times, you can say what you will about the decision in the second fight. I also thought that Holloway won that fight, but he's 0-2 against Volkanovski. Try something different. You know, roll the dice, take a gamble, see how this works out for you. The most animated I've seen Max at a press conference since that Khabib press conference, that the fight didn't actually happen back in 2018 in New York. that was a really entertaining Max, and I think that was kind of the same Max that we saw from a few years ago. So I'm not sure why it was, but it certainly was a different Holloway than we've seen at press conferences before.
That was maybe the best press conference of all time, the Habib versus Max Holloway.
That was a tremendous press conference.
And to know that we never even got to see the fight afterwards is
what
a little sad.
Bizarre
but
week
that was one of the best press conferences ever. What do we got left? We got Sean O'Malley versus Pedro Munhoz.
Love that fight. Yeah.
Love that fight as well. In terms of just the fight week itself, like, hey, it's Sean, man. I mean, Sean Sean looks like he always does. He looks extremely confident. Pedro Munhoz does too.
Yeah.
I think stylistically, this fight was kind of put together for a reason. I think that Sean does have some stylistic advantages over him, but it's Pedro Munhoz who has all that experience. And I'm
toughest fight so far for O'Malley, though. Is that safe to say?
For sure. It's just an interesting fight because, I look at the betting odds. I don't know how much you do, but Sean is about the same betting odd favorite that he's been against other guys who are not even close to accomplished what Pedro Munhoz has. So I guess just kind of like the dynamic that you see between those two guys, and it'd be an opportunity, I suppose, for Sean O'Malley to potentially look past him, but I don't think he is.
No, I really don't think he is either. And Munhoz is, I think he probably knows where he's at as far as his role in this fight. And he's kind of in a gatekeeper role right now in that division. It's a great division. He's lost a few in a row, and this is kind of his chance to not only derail the hype train for O'Malley, but kind of get back in that position where he's not the gatekeeper anymore. But right now, he's the guy that a lot of people think that O'Malley's going to get past him and be a contender in the bantamweight division. And he doesn't want that to happen. He's a proud guy, of course.
Okay, so last question for you. What is your biggest observation of fight week, and what are you most looking forward to on Saturday?
I mean, I think that the main card is, even with some of the losses that we've had, like the Misha Tate, Lauren Murphy fight, I think that the main card looks fantastic. I'm really looking forward to Robbie Lawler against Brian Barberena. I thought Robbie Lawler has like a little bit more energy than he has had. Which
is to say he had some.
Right, exactly. I mean, Robbie Lawler at a press conference, we've seen that man actually fall asleep at press conferences before. And he was animated. It looked like he was having a good time with all the trash talk, laughing at all of Sean Strickland's jokes. Yeah. So I'm excited for that fight. Those guys both always, they're never in a boring fight. So that's a great fight. And I really want to see the trilogy fight with Holloway and Volkanovski. I do feel like there's a lot of unfinished business there. Both of them are in contention for who is the best featherweight of all time. I'm not sure either one of them is that right now, but the winner of that fight, you could put them in that conversation with the Jose Aldo, and we may even see, who knows, maybe we even see a fourth one if Holloway wins. I mean, those guys are kind of have become eternal rivals.
Yeah, I agree. Pound for pound, this is one of the strongest main cards of the year when you just take it, consider it as the sum of its parts.
Yeah.
I was looking forward and am still looking forward to the co-main event the most, and that's no knock on the other fights. That is just the highest quality fight I think that you could possibly have. But I gotta say, after this press conference, and you know me, I'm not a huge drama guy. I was a little sucked into the drama of Izzy.
I'm usually the drama guy, Brett.
You are.
Yeah.
And if Izzy gets past Jared Cannonier, which is an if, I would like to see, because Izzy's smart. Izzy knows what he's doing. He is going to have a post-fight talk ready for either one of those guys, whoever wins, whether it's Alex or whether it's Sean. And if it's Sean, I'm curious. I'm curious to see what he has to say and how that fight continues to build. So until then, I am Brett. He is Mark. Thank you for watching on our YouTube channel. Stay here for all content from between now and then also, of course, fight night. And enjoy the fights on Saturday.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.